If I'm missing something about this album, somebody let me know in the comment section. Yo, welcome to another episode of Submarine Media. Today is my birthday, so I'm gonna be kind of taking it easy and just going in rough on this record. The record is ASAP Rocky's Testing. Now, I've listened to this record a couple of times, right? And each time I kind of thought maybe like I'm missing something. There's definitely a couple bright spots on there. I like the intro, Distorted Records. Tony Tone is good. I definitely love the last track with Frank Ocean. There is, what is it? Like another cut. Let me see. Brother Man, we're featuring French Montana, doing some singing on there. It's really kind of weird, almost experimental soul singing. But there are a variety of tracks I could do without. And the thing is, without these tracks, is I listen to a lot of different music. I listen to just straight noise albums. I've listened to like Musique Concrete albums where it's just like more capturing live sounds and making collages and everything. I love a lot of prog and 70s rock. So I go into things usually with a really open mind as far as things go. So my first time listening to this, it was kind of off-putting, but in a way that usually I end up liking a lot of albums after a while. I'm like, oh, I didn't know how to feel about this. And then, oh, later on, I'm like, oh, man. Like, I could kind of be like, oh, I really like that. I want to listen to that. There's something about it that draws me back to it. With this album, I've really tried to give it more than just once over. I've tried to listen to it at least, like I said, about 3 times, maybe even like 4 times, and once with my wife. And I just feel like there is something that it was shooting for, and it just misses the mark. I feel like it's trying to be way more arty than it really has the capacity to be. To me, what I don't like about this is it's a perfect example of what I see a lot of rappers doing. That they fall onto, there's some rappers that fall into this category that I say like they do things where they think they're pushing the boundaries of rap, but they're forgetting that they're rappers. Like when you listen to this thing, the most memorable raps that that stand out, that where Rocky is not competing over the beat and all these different things coming in and out of the beat, that for me are really distracting from anything that he's saying, are like ASAP Forever, and then the rest is kind of just like Fucking Sleep with FKA Twigs is just totally forgettable track. It's like this really lazy, sleepy trap beat, and I have Apple Music, so I'm just gonna undownload it off the album and just make sure that it's not on there. Call Chops with Kodak Black, I tried to figure like maybe there's some real like artistic direction of why you chose to do this, or Call Drops or whatever. But it just kind of sounds like really random. And I appreciate a lot of really random things in music, but in this case, I was just like, this is just unnecessary detour, especially after, well, no, Praise the Lord's before that, but I mean, it went Fucking Sleep, then Praise the Lord, so I'm like, oh, I'm back into it. And then it's like Call Drops. And it's Buckshots, which is this really kind of just random synth melody that's kind of horrible. It kind of reminds me of like when people on the internet, like they just kind of pick synth and it sounds cool, and then they just trap it up. And Rocky totally doesn't ride this beat in a smooth way. Whoever features on this, the last 30 seconds of this, I feel like they figure out what to do with this beat, and that's on Buckshots. Everything else in here, as far as like what he says, almost seem like loose street narratives of street life that could either be pertaining to him or to just street life in general. Like the most I got from this album was ASAP Forever, where he's just really repping his gang. It's like a solid representation of who ASAP is, what he represents, who he stands for, how far he's come, and it's really triumphant sounding. It gives me goosebumps when I hear it. I love it. I would have appreciated if they had put the ASAP Forever with Moby and, I'm sorry, with Kid Cudi and T.I., like at the bottom, like at the end as like a remix, because I felt like it was way more triumphant with just him on it. I could do without the T.I. intro. Kid Cudi bars are kind of sleepy, but they're okay. You know, let's see what else here. The Kids Turned Out Fine it kind of reminds me of Cow Drops, where it just, I could see you were trying to do something here. I'm not quite sure what, but I think this is the one where he ends up like having a sample of some really kind of like off time or out of tune guitar. I know there's gonna be a lot of Rocky fans that are like, oh, he meant to do that, and don't get me wrong, I've listened to a lot of music that's like off time or out of pocket, and it just sounds weird. But this sounds like someone who just started learning how to chop. They found a guitar shop. They're too lazy to go edit it on time or to pick another one. Trapped it up and just kind of just started rhyming over it. And it's almost really distracting. It really is. Like throughout this album, there's a variety of things that I feel like. So it's 15 tracks. Like maybe this would be better if you got rid of Kids Turned Out Right, Call Drops, Fucking Sleep, Buckshots, and I'll say Black Tux. If you got rid of all those, this album might be maybe a little bit better, because right now the rating I'm going to say that I give it is a 4. And I would say for me, beyond really trying to figure this out, I would never really come back to listen to this, except for maybe for particular sounds, because I'm a sound whore. But I mean, it's just really as the album, it's not very cohesive. I feel like he tried really too hard. And at first, like testing, I was like, maybe he's testing new sounds, but it's really just kind of testing the shit out of my patience, really, to be honest. I like Rocky, so that's, I'll probably still give this a listen. I'm about to listen to Purity when I get done with this, because like I said, that Frank Ocean track is a really good example of what this album maybe like could have been, like with these sounds that you were picking. But like I said, I feel like you tried to go somewhere and you missed the mark. And I won't give you the excuse of artistic expression. Too many rappers, too many artists, but definitely too many rappers these days try to pull that off, and it's just getting on my nerves. Like, if you don't want to be a rapper, don't be a rapper. Go be an indie. The genres are wide open. You've got all this, that, and a third. But like he says on the first track, Distorted Records. If you mention his name on the top 10, it better be like the first out of your mouth or something like that. Then on Tony goes on about like how he doesn't give a fuck about your list or your disc or whatever. And well, clearly you did on your first track. You said your top 10. And he's weird in a way, but I would feel like how he carries himself and how the arena he wants to be in, he is a rapper's rapper, but he's not a rapper's rapper. But how he carries himself as a rapper's rapper. So as far as the music goes on here, I feel like the instrumentals totally overpower anything that he was saying, and they were not that good at all. Like, they were just kind of hodgepodge. You tried to make the psychedelic, I guess, or experimental, but it ends up kind of sounding like a mess in a lot of places. Again, highlights, Purity, that was great, featuring Frank Ocean. Praise the Lord was cool, featuring Skepta. Distorted Records is cool, and ASAP Records is great. Tony Tone is cool, and then there's a couple other tracks here and there, but there was some shit that just, like I said, Fucking Sleep is horrible, or Fuck Sleep. Call Traps is horrible. Call Drops, Kids Turn Out Fine is horrible. I could do without Black Tux, White Collar, and OG Beeper just kind of seemed like it was just like a B-side. So I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. Just wanted to go straight shoot it out there. That's my thing. It's my birthday. I'm gonna go celebrate. Anyways, that's what I thought about the album. If I'm missing something about this album, somebody let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I tried. Probably give it another shot, but I don't think this is one of Rocky's best. And again, I think this is he fits in that category of rappers that I feel like you're pushing the culture and everything you do, but you forget about the rapping aspect in this one, and you've kind of just like let these hodgepodge beats really take you out of I don't know where the fuck. But anyways, we will see you next time on another episode of Submarine Media.